Welcome, Pisces. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I pulled for you for this January full moon the Hermit card. This is describing your need to find those answers within yourself that help you to stand in your own authority, as in your right to be who you are. What has worked for others has not worked for you, and what has worked for you in the past, you recognize the limitations of that. During this full moon in Cancer on the 13th of the month, you are looking at your relationship to the past through your memory, and you're understanding the fragility of memory, the malleability of memory. In other words, you have filters, and those filters have been affected by triggers from your past, triggers around your unmet needs from the past, the way you may have been neglected or ignored. This is not necessarily calling out any traumatic trauma. It's more looking at your ability to recognize that your memory is shifting based on your own sense of empowerment, and that you are not dependent on the actions of others in the past to empower yourself to move forward from a place of being true to your own truth and your own needs, to expressing your talents in a way that is satisfying to you. And the energy of this lunation is falling squarely in the area of your creativity, of your partnerships. So recreation, creation, procreation, these are all the things that are a feature of the energy of this full moon for you, Pisces. This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. And for your social identity, the way others see you, the Lovers. This is feeling like a sparking up of a relationship. This may be a connection from your past uh, as a feature of that. And if it is someone from the past, it is not necessarily that person with whom you are sparking up again or re-sparking, but your healing is informing your sense of self now. And my sense is that you are making a choice based on the reappearance of this person or the appearance of a new passion. This passion can well be your creative gifts, a business idea, something that is helping you to evaluate long-term benefit for yourself, and that moves you away from the kind of short-term gratification that a relationship in particular or relationships in general may have provided for you in the past. This can also be about someone else's addiction that you enabled in the past. So let's find out more. In the first house, the Moon card. This is really kicking up the idea about the way that you're connecting to the past through your memories and your better understanding of the way your memories are operating to your benefit and your detriment. So this is, in fact, confirming that your sensitivity, your desire for not just your own connection, positive connection with the past, your own willingness to look at the things that may have restricted you from the past, are all contributing to this idea that you are facing down your fears by facing them. You're not hiding from the things that are uncomfortable. You're not enabling others who have difficulty facing their own fears, looking at their patterns of behavior, particularly perhaps a relationship pattern that has been a feature of your coming of age or formative years that you recognize is limited, is not empowering you, is not reciprocal, relies on you to take care of a wounded sense that someone else may not be able to get themselves together. And you somehow may have made space for that in the past in a way that's helping you understand how you are in better control of your memories, how you can construct memories in a way that can show you how far you've come. In the fourth house, the house of your uh, foundation, your domestic environment, I'm just tripping on all the major arcana here so far. So this is describing your need for retreat. And this, along with the Hermit, is the second card that is talking specifically about pulling back and pulling in. And certainly the Moon card is emphasizing that same energy. So you are understanding that you need to sacrifice some activity. Perhaps it's a sense of foundation, a sense of the past that you have stood on for so long that is now being altered by your wisdom, by the experience you've generated and the wisdom you've gained from those lessons learned. You understand you need a higher perspective in order to sort these incredible emotionals and your uber attunement, your uber vigilance to all the energies that are around you, particularly the sponge like energy that you share with others, so that it can be hard to wall off unwanted sensitivities to those who you no longer want to be connected to, or you now see the connection to that person that exists as not being healthy or supportive of you. And in that way, you realize there's this standing back is necessary in order for you to see that, to better understand that, and to move forward in a much more consolidated place around what is best for you. In the seventh house of relationships, we have the Eight of Cups. And this is really confirming that you're not going back to the past. That seems clear. You realize that through this incredibly intense period that may seem to culminate on the full moon, the 13th of this month, you've learned all you can learn from some of these past situations, some of your uh, familiar loved ones. You're moving away from a familiar situation. You certainly want to, and you're gathering up the courage to do so through deeper understanding of why you stayed there in the first place, what you learn from being there. And this is assuming positive intent by everyone. You're not blaming people for anything. You're understanding that you've learned how to cope, how to learn, how to stand on your own 2 feet, how you are your own boss, and that you can shape your reality in the way that you would like to, that you're responsible for that. Others are not responsible for your reality. And that's given you the courage to say, I'm ready for the challenge. The challenge that gives me meaning, that gives my life, my work, my effort meaning. And this can be choosing a new direction, choosing a passion, choosing a new relationship, or choosing to be in relationship with yourself. If this reading is resonating with you so far, please like this video, Pisces. Please share this with others if you feel so moved. And certainly, please subscribe to my channel. And I pulled the Freedom card. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Pisces, you are so special, in particular in terms of your creative gifts, and those gifts extend to the way that you hold people together, that you care for the experience of others, and that has perhaps in the past drained your energies to some extent or pulled you away from the course of your own direction. And you're now releasing yourself from that uh, need to fix, support, or help others in a way that they can help themselves. This freedom is now empowering your creative gifts, your direction. And so this is a beautiful omen of this inspired new direction that's coming out of a great deal of wisdom that you've gained from your past. In the first house, the moon is clarified by the Ten of Cups, and this is describing this beautiful community that you are a part of, and that community includes the past relationships. You assume and accept the safety that you've experienced in relationships where you can be yourself, where you can give freely, and where you can also allow yourself to receive, but you can be vulnerable and not taken advantage of. In fact, this entire community of loved ones, you and yours, is something that represents a little bit of the better world that you are determined to create and contribute to. In the fourth house, the Hanged Man is clarified by the Strength card. The Strength card is simply confirming that you have always been able to remove yourself from the fray of the activity around you, particularly when it comes to overcoming intense challenges, perhaps as a family unit during your formative years. That in fact you come through as strong, the strong one. Perhaps you're from a community of strong women, of strong people, but your strength is unique to you, no matter how empowered or strong the community uh, that shaped your formative years. And as a result of that, you know how to take space. You were allowed to take space as needed. And this is a habit that helps you to maintain this grace under pressure that is one of your signatures. This is something that this inner strength that many uh, are trying to learn. It's something that comes naturally to you. You don't lose your cool under fire. You know that about yourself, and thus you are someone who holds the fort down when others are freaking out. In the seventh house of your significant relationships, the Eight of Cups is clarified by the Two of Swords. This is emphasizing a choice that you're making. It seems to me that you know what direction you're moving in, what choice is right for you. You know the direction. It's not even a choice at some level. This is something that comes from your ability to seek your own answers, to identify who you already are and your right to be so. However, there does seem to be a sense of sadness, regret, or remorse around those that you can't take with you. And that is part of the energy of having worked, having accepted your past, having accepted the individuals that may be populated unhappy experiences. Um, that acceptance means that you accept that their way belongs to them and your way belongs to you. And what's right for you is not the easy way. In part, that's how you know it's for you. It's going to require a lot. It's the hard way. You're making the hard choice. You've got lots of easy options you could fall back on, but they're not for you. And so some of this is about the acknowledgement that what is right for you is going to be challenging. And you're up for that. The Lovers in the 10th house is clarified by the Seven of Swords. There are a lot of people that don't take you seriously, haven't taken you seriously, look at you and think they know who you are, who have rejected your requests for assistance, who have not heard you, who have uh, uh, criticized you unfairly without any intention of helping you understand the holes in your arguments or your projects, that have made fun of you because in a lot of ways you have learned to understand that these are responses that are fear-based. They're not about you. They have nothing to do with you. They're about those among your associates. Quite possibly, this is about the larger community, people you've worked with that don't understand you, don't understand why you don't do X, that have assumptions about you that you know aren't true, and that you no longer are internalizing that sense of rejection from those people whose opinion really doesn't count, who don't get you, who don't want to get you, and those that once wounded you deeply, that once affected you deeply. You're in a place where you're moving on. You're making decisions based on what you know and those you know who support you, love you, and see your value. I'm going to finish this reading with a glyph oracle. It's a new deck, so whoa. What came up was retreat, cave. I love it. You have so many cards here, at least 3 major arcana that relate to this beautiful card. Because this deck is so subtle, I hope you can see the image. Number 25 may be resonant for some of you. But the idea that a retreat is not a cave. A cave is necessary as a retreat in those moments when you need to silence the external noise around you, when you need to consult your own sense. But ultimately, that cave-like experience is meant to be a step back in order to get your head together, to regroup, to reset, and to move forward in your own authority. So this beautiful card, I hope you can see it, is my final prayer for you. Thank you so much, Pisces, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.